Scorpio, how's it going? This is your reading for mid-July 2026. Hope you guys are holding up okay. Yeah. I feel like the energies have been pretty intense lately. I feel like a lot of us are doing a lot of self-reflection. I know there's I think it's a new moon in Cancer coming up soon. And the moon is exalted in the sign of Cancer. And the moon is all about reflection. So let's see what your current energy is right now. Ace of Pentacles. Scorpio, are you taking a new leap? Are you getting out of your comfort zone? Are you taking on a new job, perhaps? Leaving home? Or are you thinking about doing any of these things? Oops. We have the Two of Swords crossed by the King of Swords. Okay, Scorpio, it looks like you're ready to start sharing your experiences with the world. We had this card in reversed. So instead of being closed off, it's about being open and creating something in the world from your experiences that is going to help other people when they're going through a shitty experience like that. And it's crossed by the King of Swords. Okay, so there's a part of you that may have a little fear of the way that you're perceived if you air out all of your grievances, the way it might affect your reputation, and you're trying to approach it in a logical way that doesn't end up causing more damage. And in a way, it's kind of stopping you from being able to say what you really want to say because you're afraid of how it might be received. You don't want to come off looking like a crazy person. Beneath you, we have the Two of Cups. So you're actually in a very sane state of mind right now. People that are overly concerned about their reputation end up, in a way, gatekeeping knowledge that could be helpful to others. And by trying to pretend like nothing ever happened to you is, in a way, it's like playing God. It's like, yeah, I'm perfect. Nothing ever happened to me. And you know, it's not a good attitude to have. it actually ends up disconnecting you from people more than it would if you just let it all out in the open. And this card is telling you that you're not crazy. You are being very compassionate and wise to want to share your experiences. And above you, we have the Ten of Cups. Happiness, joy. Yeah, good things are going to come out of this. You're on the right path, and your instincts are correct. For the near possible future, we have the King of Pentacles. Another great card. This is someone that is on the beat. He's in touch with nature, and he knows what people need. He anticipates needs before anyone even has to tell them what they need. If this is a person coming into your life, it could represent a man, a more mature man that is loyal, trustworthy. And if it's representing you, it just means that you have a very sane state of mind right now, again. And you're very in touch right now with what the world needs. We have the Hangman. It was in reverse, but it's funny because when it's in reverse, it looks upright. This is in your attitude. So something recently happened that gave you a new perspective on life. And it could be maybe something that you read, or maybe a dream that you had. But you're starting to make sense of things that didn't really make sense to you before. And for this reason, again, it's another good reason just to share the knowledge of the things that you've been through and what you learned from it. In your environment, we have the Six of Pentacles. So this card is about giving and receiving, and it's also about, see the scale, only giving people what they can take. It's basically, again, it's like being on the pulse, you know? It's kind of like a missionary that goes to, like, you know, a tribal land and just tries to, like, push the Bible or push their beliefs in God on everyone, when they're not, like, ready for that, versus if he were to just go in and show them the kindness and the love that represents Jesus Christ, that would be something that they would be willing to receive in that moment. So right now it's exactly like what I just said with the King of Pentacles. It's the same energy of just you know what the people need. You know how to present things in a way that is not overbearing or overstepping onto their core values or beliefs, but also to provide them with something that they can actually use, something that they need, maybe that they didn't even realize they needed. We have the Queen of Swords in your hopes and fears, reversed. So So you're afraid that people, wow, I think, yeah, we got the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords reversed. And you're afraid that people might think that you're just like only focused on the sadness in the world. And you don't want to be perceived that way. Maybe you're talking about topics that are usually taboo or that nobody wants to talk about, but they're things that like everyone deals with. And yeah, don't let your fear of being perceived a certain way stop you from your plans, from executing your plans. You know, a lot of artists say that if they were concerned about what a certain group of people would say about their work, then they wouldn't be able to help anyone at all. It's okay to create something that only resonates with a certain group of people. Because if you're just trying to please everyone all the time, then you're just going to end up not even creating anything meaningful. For the final outcome, we have the Six of Swords. So this card represents sailing on to smoother waters. It's like a departure from a more tumultuous time into a more peaceful time. And it's a time of a much needed silence, a much needed retreat. And as you can see, they have the swords with them in the boat. So it's like taking what you learned with you and just taking it in peace. Yeah, I think if anything, if you want to make your project or plans even more relatable, don't be afraid to include more emotion in your work and not make it overly logical. When you're telling people certain things that you have learned that worked for you, it's okay to tell them, like, I learned this through direct experience. I felt horrible at this time. I was going through this and that, and this is where I'm at now. And I think that's the missing piece, the connection that someone can make with you. Like, she knows what she's talking about, or he knows what he's talking about because he's experienced it firsthand. And just to not be afraid of how others perceive you because of that, because we all have skeletons in our closet. It's just some people are too concerned about their reputation and they want to keep it all in private. And all that does is it makes, well, what did you go through those experiences for? Not to share it and try to benefit other people. And I think you're in a really good mind space right now where not to give people more than they can take or try to impose your beliefs on other people. And it's just about recognizing that, it's okay if it doesn't resonate with some people, because even if only a few people find it helpful, then it was worth it. And it almost makes it feel like the things that you went through, you didn't go through for no reason. And that's like real alchemy, transmutation type shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's cool. I think it's really cool that you're thinking about doing something like this. Alrighty, Scorpio, yo. That was your reading for mid-July, and I'll catch up with you in August.